Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another episode of our Corporate Success Community Silver Star interview series. And today we have one more achiever with us. We have Dhara Khakar. There she is. But before I go to her, I'd like to quickly give you a gist of what this entire space is all about. This is wherein we celebrate achievers. Yes, this is how I address all my members of the community as achievers, because if you see someone here with me in this interview series, that only and only means that they deserve this title of being a silver star. Why? Because they are emotionally invested, they are putting in their efforts, they are being consistent when it comes to learning and execution. That's how they come here. So without any further ado and delay, let's quickly go to Dara. So Dara, welcome to first of all, congratulations for being a silver star, and welcome to this platform where not just me, but everyone would love to learn from your progress and your development. And by the way, Dara is an interior designer. She's an expert in it. She is a founder of Shades of Space. That's her organization. With all her simplicity and all her creativity, she just adds magic. So that's what she is. All right. So Dara, yes, to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was really a good introduction. And when, after all, it is coming from you, it makes me feel more good. Like, I'm getting some of the appraisal from the person whom I admire. So
See, the
thank you
thing
so much.
is, Dara, I'm not sugarcoating anything here. The thing is, out of hundreds and hundreds of people that we have in the community, only few are able to reach to this level of becoming a silver star, because the process is difficult. We have certain levels. So if you are here, the entire credit goes to you. You have been consistent, you are consuming your courses, you are adding tons and tons of value to the community, and not just that, but you have those positive needle movements as well. That's the reason you're here. So Dara, to begin with, I'd like to know, and this is how I usually like to start the conversation, what brings you here?
Uh, if I say about myself, uh, I'm a person who is very workaholic. I always need something or the other which should be, keep on going. But in that process, I was ignoring the small negative traits which were coming inside me. So, and then when it just reached at a peak, I was, uh, I was like, now it's not going to happen. Like now it's not going to work where I'll always focus on, work and not working on myself, because somewhere down the line, it is overcoming my, emotions. So, and when I was into that state where I was dealing with the anxiety, stress, and that low confidence, with low self-esteem, I felt like being paralyzed. I wasn't knowing like what to do, where to go, whom to reach out. So, and by that time, I just saw the ad, and there was a beautiful one line which you said, and it attracted me a lot, was when your emotions are high, your intelligence is low.
Mm,
So, you don't tend to think intentionally, and you always end up, being emotional,
mm,
and you take the decisions accordingly. And the other line which you said was, you always put the emotions under carpet, like you build up that dust below the carpet. That two
mm.
lines just, and I just felt like I want to connect with you in anyhow, and I made up my decision, and here I ended up.
I I'm so very glad that you took that decision and you're able to see that progress. Um, Dara, you spoke about stress that comes from or that roots from work, right? And at the same time, you also spoke about anxiety. So I would like to know, see, there are so many people who who would be watching this particular segment later on, and they might be experiencing stress and anxiety. depending on what they are doing in terms of their profession and stuff. Um, what were certain symptoms or what were certain signs that you were experiencing which you labeled as stress and anxiety?
So basically, when I was going through this process, I felt like I was making hasty decisions, which was harming me, which was not harming my body, my thoughts, and I was going inside more and more. I was not able to come out. So I just felt like, you're just going inside a hole, and you want to come out, but you are not able to come out from that, or nobody's pulling you out, and
Mm-hmm.
you cannot go inside more. Otherwise, if you go, it will be on a depression stage, and I don't want to go there. So I need to do something for this, because I'll ended up in a very bad phase, or in a very, a stage where it was very difficult to come out, and I was just avoiding meeting people. I was just having that low confidence. I was not, able to take any decisions, which
Mm-hmm.
impacted me in my personal as well as professional life as well. So that was the thing where I felt like, no, this is not going to happen. Like, I need to do something. I
Enough
need
is
to
enough, kind
do
of a thing.
something.
I get it. Dara, this is where most of the people fail in order to take a decision, because awareness is the key. And this is what I keep on saying, that many times people are in that negative spiral. They are going through all these difficulties and challenges, mental, emotional, at various different levels, and they don't realize that they need to do something about it. They don't
Yes,
realize that it's high time. The
yes.
water level is already rising, it's above my neck. They don't realize. So I would like to know from you, what brought that realization in your life, wherein you said that, okay, enough is enough, bas bahut ho gaya, now I have to do something about it, or else this acute thing might transform into something chronic.
Okay. So that was the thing when, I had no confidence in me.
Mm,
I left out with the low self-esteem.
mm,
I saw people around me, who was not at all, ready to see me like that way.
mm,
And somewhere down the line, whatever the situation was around me, I started always seeing the negative traits coming out from me. Like, and then people calling me out as you are a negative thinker, or you are always thinking negative, or
mm,
you are overthinking. I was being tagged with those things. And I sat down with myself and I said, like, no, that is not me. That is not my images. And I am a person who wants to be positive and who wants to help people around me, because
mm,
what the traumas or the past which has happened, I don't want to, take over that in my present. So,
mm.
and to give others as well. So that's where I felt like, rather to go again into that hole, I should come out of that thing. So
Awesome.
that was my thing came
Awesome.
out.
So basically, you're saying that you started getting those cues from the environment, from
Yes,
people, their reactions, their attitude, or their words, or the way they started suggesting you certain things. And that's where it was like your environment showed you the mirror, that this is where you are, and now it is the time to take control or take charge of it. Lovely,
yes,
lovely. And I think Dara, this is what most of the people need to be aware of, right? Those cues when they start getting. Lovely. So,
yes,
so Dara, if I have to ask you, the time you joined the community, the time you started integrating all these learnings, what would be your top two or three transformations that you have been through, or top two or three best wins that you can label, and what led to those transformations? Now, the reason why I'm asking you this question is there's an intention behind it. Okay. The intention is that whosoever watches this conversation, I'm sure that they'll be able to connect with the challenges that you have gone through.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I just don't want to stop there. The reason I asked you that what helped you to come out of those challenges is because I want them also to get some idea that if they are there where you were, how can they come out of it?
Yes.
Yes.
So, just what the prior question you asked, I
Yeah.
continue from there was,
Yes.
so, sometimes people, as you said, like they are unaware of those situations.
Mm,
And sometimes you get that instinct, like, okay, now it's time to, you do. And I also feel like some people are not able to speak it out, or they are unaware, like, they are going into that phase.
mm,
So, when I joined this community, when I joined with you guys, so the two transformation which there was a sudden shift in me was, the first thing was acceptance. I
uh,
was not accepting with the situations around me. I was not accepting the way I was, in
mm,
which I always had that doubts and that anxiety, like why people are thinking the things which I'm not. So first of all, I learned from this was acceptance, which you have to be and that acceptance can be your surroundings, your people, your situations. Like first of all, start accepting it. And the second related to acceptance was, take a pause while you react, like
mm,
that. Because I'm a person who used to react when someone says me, like, you are a negative thinker, you have a negative approach, or you are an overthinker. So I have like, no, I'm not like this. I was very quick with the reaction, but
mm,
I never got that pause. And when you said no, whenever you are into that zone, pause for a while and
mm,
then or analyze what the situation was.
mm,
So pause led to that acceptance in my journey. And the
mm,
second transformation, which I was which was very needed in my life, which was being vocal
uh,
and influencer. Because I haven't been I never knew myself. So first of all, the first thing you should know is yourself, like what
mm,
things you like, what things you don't like. And you beautifully explained in one of the ICMMs was like,
mm,
set your boundaries. First of all, know yourself,
mm,
set your boundaries, and tell other people, like, this is something, what am I?
mm,
So rather than interviewing or crossing the limits, which triggers you, which,
mm,
deals with other things, it will
mm,
help you to be very open to other person, and other person won't take those things in a very negative way. So
mm,
very politely, with a right tone, you put up
mm,
yourself and be vocal, which I was not. And
mm.
that's why, people were all coming over me and
Stepping
walking me
over
off.
the boundaries. Yes. But I really liked what you said. And I think a lot of people will find a lot of value from what you just said about pausing and accepting. Because,
Yes,
I realize that there are, that, one of the prized possessions that we have is our self image. And we have a picture of us in our own mind that this is how I am, this is who I am, and this is what I stand for, etc., etc. And
yes,
then when someone comes and starts pointing finger at us or our personality or any of our element, we don't like it. We feel as if we are attacked, right? When someone tells
yes,
you that you are like this or you are like that, you should stop doing this, you feel attacked. And that's where you start
yes,
becoming defensive. And this is the problem, I think, with a lot of us. But
yes,
that's how you dealt with it, to just pause and then to validate whatever they are saying. Is it really true? And that's where you realize, oh, yes, some of it is true. And that's where you start
true.
working on yourself. Oh, lovely. Fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing that pause and acceptance. And the second thing is being vocal. Of course, drawing your boundaries. And I'm really happy that you implemented it and you got some results out of it. Fantastic.
Yes,
Uh, so that are moving further, as you are an entrepreneur, you are a interior designer, you have your firm, Now, I know that as an entrepreneur, there are a lot of stresses, there are a lot of ambiguities that we experience, right? Because it's
Yes.
not like everything goes as per expectation, like in a job. Like you have first or seventh, you get your salary. And then you have people problem, you have client problem, and stuff like that. I would like to know, are there any incidents that you would like to share with us wherein there's a lot of stress or some unexpected thing that came up, and how did you deal with it?
Okay. So, when you asked about like being an entrepreneur,
Mm.
so at the same point of time, I would include as being also talking about my personal life with the family. So, to balance both of the things, sometimes like, family doesn't understand, like, because I'm the sole proprietor and I don't have any people who guided me towards taking this decision of being an entrepreneur. So, putting my all efforts. So the, hours are also less, and you have to put more of efforts to know how to deal with the finance and how to deal with the people, their lifestyle and all. So at the same point of time, there was a pressure from families like you're putting more of your time over there, and you are not giving. So I was also like, okay, now I have to need to balance both those things. So I was also giving to them, I was also giving to the firm, but I did not give that time to myself.
Mm.
I was so occupied, and it was like, you are in the center, and both of the sides are pulling you to the
Pulling you in.
extremes.
Yeah.
So, I just, after attending this, I just sat down with myself, like, first of all, what exactly I have to tell to the people who are very professionally attached to me and to the people who are very family to me. I need to tell them, like, this is how I'm going to work. You cannot ask me any of the time, like, come and have socializing, or I cannot ask any of the professional to, treat me as a friend or like, that way. So that made me think, and then I set the boundaries around me, like, okay, I sat with my
Mm.
family and I said, like, see, right now I don't have much of sources. I'm struggling and I'm getting there, so I need your help by understanding me. And I also set my boundaries, like, don't cross that, it will trigger me in other ways. So
Mm.
I said that thing to my family. At the same point of time, I had to also set that sometimes saying no to the
Yeah.
client also,
Yes.
a good way to say them. So I
Mm.
was like never saying no. I was just giving and giving, and in that sense
Mm.
I was just losing the money, I was just losing my energy.
Mm.
I was not working on myself. I was having that stress, like, something I have to deliver on time, and I would won't be on time. So I had to sit down with myself, and rather to have that thoughts of X to 10x,
Yeah.
I need to come back with the X thoughts and, tell both of them, like, no, this is the thing, and please work and, coordinate with
Mm.
those things around me.
Lovely, lovely. I understand where you're coming from. Especially, thank you for first of all expanding the question from only stress to balancing the equation. And
Yes.
and I think all of us who are balancing multiple roles need
Yes.
this. What Dara just said. Number one is defining your equation with all the parties. So
Yes.
define the equation with your family members, define that equation with your clients, with your customers, define the equation with your vendors so that you are able to maintain that relationship in the right manner. Number two is setting boundaries. What or till or how much you'll be able to stretch yourself in every role. And number three is
Yes.
having open communication, right? And that
Yes.
open communication is important. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dara,
Yes.
for sharing this. Uh, Dara, if I have to ask you, from all the strategies and frameworks, we have tons and tons of them in our dashboard and all the courses. If I have to ask you, what are the top three strategies or top three frameworks or ideas that are really game changers for you? What would that be?
The first and very most favorite was journaling.
Ah.
I'm a person who loves to write manually and to express through the words, and that is also somewhere down the line it is giving a me time to
Mm,
myself to ask question to myself, like what am I doing, where am I focusing, when I shifted my focus from this to that, am I doing right or not.
mm,
So that journaling helped me when I had no one around me to talk with, when I don't have no one, no influencer around me to share and talk about business. I used to write it down, whatever am I feeling.
mm,
So that journaling was the best part.
mm.
And the second part was the success planner which you gave.
Ah, yes, yes.
Sometimes we are just walking and walking, we don't know where we are going to.
Mm,
So setting that goals, like whether it's personal, professional, emotional,
mm,
mental, like whatever the goals are, you should know where you are going. I mean,
mm.
where the thoughts are going. Is it going on a right direction? Are you working on that? Are you going to achieve at that point of time? So if you don't have those things, it's your life is just like you are just moving. It's the life is ruling you. You are not
Yeah.
ruling over your life. So that is something where it helped me to narrow it down, like where on what part of areas of life which I need to work on.
It gave you a
And
structure.
yes, and accordingly, you can connect with those kind of people. For example, if I need an financial advice, I can go and speak to the experts who are there. I can read book for that
Mm,
particular topic, and I can discuss it out with any of the people who wants.
mm,
So that journaling, that streamlining your goals,
mm.
and those two things which really helped me. And again, I'll come back. The third part was mindfulness, the 2 minutes of calm,
Ah.
that pause, equivalent to that mindfulness and equivalent to that acceptance. That was the really takeaways from the entire courses which you gave us.
I'm so glad that, see, the thing is, having knowledge or having the data with you is one thing. And I think today in the economy, the kind of knowledge economy that we are living in, no one is short of information. No one.
Yeah.
Like even the kids today have access to the entire internet and the AI also. So knowledge
Yes.
is no longer a problem. The only thing that I think differentiates or puts achievers like you apart from the rest is taking that knowledge and putting it into action, and that too on a consistent basis.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and and
Yes.
this brings me to the next question. Uh, and this question just struck me that, Dara, the thing is, that we have hundreds of people in the community, but
Yes.
not all of them are able to reach to this particular title of being a silver star.
Yes.
What made you reach here?
Okay, so when I joined the master class,
Mm.
I was like, okay, every Sunday do like, only Sundays I get. So every
Um,
Sunday I have to be with them. Okay. But I attended one Sunday, I attended two second Sunday. Third, I felt like no, today I'm not available. But gradually, when two to three Sundays, when skipped that Sundays, I felt like, am I missing something which
mm,
I really wanted to have that knowledge in me?
mm,
Then from that, I became very consistent. Like I have to fuel in that things in me. I had that learning or evolving nature. Like it should
mm.
be always there in you. However, whatever age you are in, that nature of learning, growing should always be there. So it will
Yes.
no. You don't know at what situation, at what point of your age or life you need that knowledge. It
Mm.
will help you to come out of any of the situations which you are going through. So that was the best thing which happened to me, and that was a game changer, where now I was like every Sunday. So whenever
Mm.
someone calls me, the friends or the family, we are going somewhere, no, no, you can keep it after 1 p.m. I'm available after 1 p.m. Before that, I'm not, because I'm just, fueling myself for the next week. And I had to do that for myself. I
Ah,
never stood up for myself. And now I can say, like, yes, I am stepping up for myself first, so I can give others some of the positivity around me. So
awesome.
I would always give that advice to the people or to the community. Sometimes it feels like you don't want to be, but just be there. After the entire session, you will just get one thing, and that one thing may click you any point of time. So
Yes, yes.
never
Just
mess.
just be
And
there.
yes, and secondly,
Mm,
when I felt very lonely, I got
mm.
this beautiful community. Now I'm more closer to you and the other people in the community, who pushes me to the extremes to get by best in me. So now these friends are more important to me rather than the friends which I had from the school
Ah,
time. So
lovely, lovely, lovely.
that is the people I can do anything for them. So I'll always be there for those people in the community whenever they need the help.
Fantastic, fantastic. Dara, this is the dream. This is the idea to create that space where we all are standing on common grounds. We all are standing on the common principles and values. And that's where we can blindly trust each other, right? And when you can trust someone, you don't hide anything. And when you don't hide anything, you claim the ownership of who you are as a person. And when you
Yes.
do that, then nothing is impossible. So fantastic, Dara. Dara, I would like to know from you, when we talk about mindfulness. Now, um, as a person coming from that domain and working on this domain, of course, I have a different way of looking at it. But I would like to know from you, if you have to define or talk about mindfulness to other people, what does this thing or this word mean to you? And why is it important for you?
Okay. So mindfulness is something. So okay, I was a person who was not a person who can sit and meditate. I was not at all that kind of person. But when I entered this, and I said, like, that one of the takeaways, the top takeaways was acceptance and that pause. So this, course, or maybe this community made me felt like, mindfulness, which is knowing yourself more
Mm,
or evolving yourself. So for that, you have to give yourself a pause with your thoughts, which is continuously running, thousands or 10,000 n number of times, and at what speed you don't know. So just to give that break to their thoughts and calm yourself and think, because people have this tendency to react. Whatever is coming, they
mm.
want to react as soon as it's possible.
Yes.
So this mindfulness for me is something called giving yourself a pause and then evolving with the other perspective of it, which
Mm,
helped me to see the third perspective. Maybe I was only seeing my perspective or the other person's perspective, but I was not able to see the third perspective. So that pause, that mindfulness, that 2 minutes to calm, helped me to even see the all the in the same situation with all the three directions, and then you take the particular action for that particular situation. So this mindfulness was helping me to pause and to evolve myself in a very uh, broader way, or
mm,
maybe to start accepting the things around me rather than reacting it very quickly. So
mm.
that is what it changed, and that is what mindfulness is like. Before speaking it up, and even you don't know what are you speaking at that moment, you always said that whenever you are angry, just give that 7 seconds to you.
Yeah.
And that hit me like, yes, I can give. Why am I not giving that 7 seconds, which
Mm,
will ruin my relations or my work? So there's this mindfulness, that pause, which helped me a lot. And that is why now I started loving mindfulness. Now I started, believing in that, doing this mindfulness daily. Like, whenever, even till date, if I get any situations in the profession, they want that, they are very eager or they're very frustrated, like the things are not happening. Rather than reacting back, I always take that pause. So
Mm,
now that has been ingrained in me, and I'm
lovely.
very happy that I took that pause.
Mm,
So, yes, that mindfulness and which you said was very correct. Like, you need to stay silent for a while rather than, reacting very quickly to the
mm.
other people, which you may lose the people, situation, and in my case, even the project as well.
Yeah, I get it. Yes, 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 because it becomes very tricky, right? So, in a nutshell, what you just said, if I have to just try to boil it down, so mindfulness basically, according to you, it slows you down. You know, it just slows your speed, and when you slow down things, you have better clarity. It's like, when you're sitting when you're sitting on the passenger seat and the car
Yeah.
is going at a 120 kilometer speed, you'll not be able to capture a lot of details around you. But when
Yes.
the car is going at a speed of 10 kilometers or 5 kilometers per hour, you'll be able to read the name boards of the shops and the address also, and you'll be able to see what is there in the shop, and you'll be able to capture
Yes.
so much of details. And once you have a lot of details, you'll be able to deal with them in the right manner.
I would rather, take this thing in my profession by saying is like, when you enter in a place or a space where the it is already an interior, like it is being designed.
Mm,
So there is a one room which has a lot of details in it, and there is a other room which has very simplified details. So if I'll take you in a room where you have a lot of details, and if
mm,
I'll take you in the room which is very simplified
mm,
details in it, and if you come out and I'll just ask you like, what was the capturing moment in
mm,
both of the spaces, you would be able to justify more with, the lesser simplified details, rather
yes.
than, because your eye won't be, stuck at any one place in
Mm,
having more details, or like,
yes.
when it is going through that speed. But
Mm,
when you go through that other room, you will, see each and everything, and whenever you come out, you will beautiful, if I'll tell you to write, or if you I'll tell you to express, you will beautifully express the things which you saw in
yes.
the other room.
Yes.
So this is how I
Lovely.
relate. Like, that's why I accepted being paused and mindful, and which calms you a lot.
Yes.
That
Yes.
that anger leads to something else, which calms you a lot when you pause.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dara. Thank you for sharing that. So, before we end this session, Dara, if I have to ask you to share couple of life lessons that you have come up with, especially after, inculcating this wisdom of mindfulness, or this living mindfully, or this awareness. What would
Mm.
be those life lessons which have proven to be a game changer for you, that you would like to share with our audience, so that they can learn from your learnings and they can actually speed up the process?
Uh, I would say, like, as it's there, so many things are there in the dashboards. You have given lot of options over there. Try doing every uh, possibility. Like, if you are good with writing, if you are good with meditating, if you are good with, self learning or reading, do whatever, do everything once, and know yourself which place you are good in, and
Mm,
you can start following that particular direction. So it will help you to evolve faster, because, when even people say like, we have a lot of things in front of us, but we don't know where to start with. But you just need to push yourself and try every flavors, and then you can see like, okay, you are okay to do journaling, you are okay to meditate
mm,
for a while
mm.
in the morning, which helps you to navigate the entire day of your upcoming day. So I would suggest, like, start doing, and whatever you do, believe it and execute it. Not only have that as like course, but also implement it by helping other people out. It will make you feel more confident and stronger when you know have that kind of courses, and when you have that aha moment. So that aha moment also is, you just, you are in that situation and you are just having that aha moment, and you feel like, oh, I got this thing now. I was finding the answer for this
Yes.
particular thing and I got. So you share it with other people by giving guidance. It will make you more confident and it will help you. You would have more eagerness to learn more.
Yes.
So I would suggest myself that. And even like one thing which was best takeaway was, whenever you are into any situation, just think, can you control it or not? Just ask
Um,
yourself. Asking questions, as you always say, is very important. Ask yourself, can you control it or not? Then that X thought won't be going to 10x.
mm.
You will be getting your answer,
Yes.
or either you will pause it, or whatever, in that situation you feel like doing it, but it will not, give you that negative overthinking, which,
Mhm.
nowadays people are going through with that overthinking. How do I come out of that overthinking? But just need to ask this one question to yourself: was that controllable? Can I control that particular situation or a person? You will get your answer by yourself, and you will be self content and self aware, like, yes, I got my answer. Now where do I need to move? You will get the,
Clarity.
idea or the focus, like which direction you need to.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dara. Thank you for sharing that. And while you were, I'm just making notes. While you were sharing that, for each one of us, it's important that you explore and try different things. When you try different things, you will know what works for you and what doesn't work for you, right?
Yeah.
And this sentence just came to me that exposure leads to expertise, right? So
Yes.
if you expose yourself to a lot of things, then you get to know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. The second thing
Yes.
that Dara shared is share your learnings with others, because number one, you revise your learnings. Number two, you are helping someone else also in the process. And number three, it makes you feel good about yourself that yes, I was able to achieve this. And number three is control your controllables. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, lovely. Awesome, Dara. It
and it
was, yeah.
and it may end up knowing which flavors you like the best for you.
Yes,
So
yes.
next time when you go for that cake shop, you will get to know, like, okay, this flavor, I always pick up this flavor because you know this, like you like this flavor. So test
Mm.
every flavor of your life and choose the one which you are very comfortable with.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. I love that analogy. So, thank you, Dara. Thank you very much. So, this was Dara Khakar for you, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, one more silver star of our community. Really proud to have all these guys as a part of this mindfulness mission. Um, And thank you very much for your time, for your attention. And in the next episode, we'll have one more silver star with us. Till then, take care. God bless you. Be mindful and have an amazing day. Thank you.